Welcome to our podcast, Leadership Lessons from the Seat of the CEO. I am honoured and excited to have you join a conversation with Peter Jones, CEO of 19 Group. They have come through an amazing journey, their second round of private equity funding. As the original founder of the business, Peter has moved through his journey in this organisation, but importantly, he also shares his own journey as an individual, as a leader, as a CEO, and beautifully as a father. Join me for a conversation that brings the whole person into the seat of the CEO.
Biggest learning as a CEO is just to have the confidence to be you. Don't try and be something you're not. Don't read the nonsense and all the books and the podcasts that sometimes can present, not all, but some of the podcasts that can present this image of a CEO. You've got to be this amazing leader, and you've got to be, resilient and inspirational, and just be human. Because the moment you just start to be more you and more human, the people around you can start to feel more relaxed.
That and your whole, it's so interesting because when I became CEO of the PLC, I thought I knew what the job was. Mm-hmm. I genuinely thought I knew because I'd reported to CEOs for years.
Yes.
And what I thought it was just a sort of trumped up managing director role, just like bigger than that. I had no idea what the actual job was. And the actual job of a CEO, especially of a public company, is stakeholder management. Mm-hmm. And it's largely about the investors, future investors, current investors. It's about the culture of the entire organization. It's about managing your people in a really broad, holistic way. It's getting out of the detail and allowing the team that you've got to get on with that detail.
This is really one of my core philosophy that as a leader, you lead as a full self. And I lead with my brain, and I lead with my heart, and I also lead sometimes with my guts. Sometimes, and you'll see it in life. Sometimes you don't have the time. You need to make a fast decision, and here, experience matters, and a sense of what's less risky will help you. So I think you need to know, and you need to understand at which point of time you use more one or the other. I know that sometimes when you speak like this, that you can lead with your heart, it feels like you're soft, or it feels like you're weak. I don't think so. One of my values is courage. And courage, the etymology of courage is heart, and agere, which means to act from a place of heart. That's where courage comes from. And so I believe it's very courageous to lead with your heart, because you expose yourself. It is vulnerable, but it's also the way where you engage with humans.
Yes.
And how does a company succeed? A company succeeds when you understand the humans you serve, your customers, your consumers, and what's in their lives, what they need, and you respect this really fundamentally, and you actually understand the people who actually do the work.
What's been the biggest learning that you've had as you've moved through those stages?
Wow. What day is it? No, just constant learning, right? So adaptability is totally key, right? You've always got to be curious. You've always got to be, hungry to learn the next thing. To take that seriously as well. You do need to understand what you're good at, what you're bad at.
Yes.
And you need to be vulnerable. I've never been the sort of person who can sit still. It's always been about growth. But then if you take that route, you've also got to understand that being in this role and peace and contentness and they don't really necessarily go hand in hand with the role. And, part of that as well is that, you've got to understand, the culture that the company runs on, and that you're behind, and the core values and everything else. And that really needs to align, because what you can't have is one day everything's running the way that you've run, and so it's good, and then all of a sudden you get investments in 180. I mean, one of the things that we're adamant about with the credit is that we're adamant about the people that work for credit being who they are, right?
Yeah.
Individuals, right? Certainly in our space, there's never a day out of the entire year that some major events not happening that's running our platform around the world. So the dedication that our team put in is just absolutely incredible. But you can't say, give me all of that dedication, and by the way, don't be you, right? It's just ridiculous. It's horribly unethical as well, because then you're just wasting a lot of your waking life, not living your life. And then from that, one of the great, incredible byproducts is that when you push that forward, you ensure that that's part of the core values of the business. Then you get people making decisions and from themselves, right? From their core outward, which is, unfiltered and, real, creative and unique ideas and thoughts and decisions. And you're not kind of forcing everybody into cookie cutter mentality. And then that's when the magic happens, right? And then that's when the great things happen, the great ideas happen. And then it also creates joy, and creates some fun as well.